We're going to hear from Waylon from A Killer's Confession here, and starting out, do not adjust your radio. That country twang you're about to hear is Waylon from the band A Killer's Confession, formerly of Mushroomhead, believe it or not, and he is starting out here doing a liner for us, and then he's going to be poking fun at that country twang in his voice.
Hey, this is Waylon Reavis from A Killer's Confession, and you're listening to 107.5 The Rock.
Perfect. All right. Thank you very much.
No problem, man. I had to take off my country accent.
right, of course.
I learned a long time ago, nobody wants to hear that in a liner or on
stage. Right. Talking with a rock band, and they're wondering why we got a guy with a country accent on there.
Yeah, well, when I was in Mushroomhead, people all the time, like, they do interviews after a show, and I'd still be in the Get Up.
Yep.
And I would speak to them like me, not the character. And they were like, you're this is me. they couldn't believe it. And I said, it makes this even scarier when you know
that. Right, exactly. When you see the Get Up and then you hear that voice coming out, it's just...
It's like, is this Deliverance? What's going on?
Right, exactly. All right. Starting out, I want to talk about, now that you released this single back in January, but we've been spinning it on our station, and it's a great song. I really enjoy it. The song is called Remember, of course, and can you talk a little bit about your inspirations for this particular song?
I wrote the song with Sahaj Tickerton. He's our producer, and he's also the singer of Raw. Mm-hmm. And we were really trying to develop the sound of AKC and what it is. And he had this riff, and it's just like, and I have this really, really thick Southern accent. He was, well, why don't we just embrace your Southern side? He said, I got this riff, and it's super Southern rock, and it's just got this swagger to it. And he goes, I really want you to embrace who you are. And it's like, you've been here for years. Let's go. I said, let's just tell everybody that I've been here. You need to remember, mm-hmm. And that's where the song really kind of came from. And it was just one of those things. It was real fun. I think I spent a week there, and we just kind of just like put it together slowly, and it just turned into something that none of us expected. But it just really was like the development of AKC, because I've been working with Sahaj for 4 years now, and we've been slowly developing the sound.
All right, cool. Very cool. And, I was watching the music video for that one as well. Now, where were you guys shooting for that particular video? Because the location looks really interesting.
It was the Joliet prison in Joliet, Illinois, the state prison, where they shot the Blues Brothers.
Oh, really?
We had Wombat Fires do that one. And that whole video was based off a T-shirt idea that we had made of the gas mask, where and it was, and we sent that to Wombat, and he's like, I'm going to make a whole video based off this picture. And he did. And the funny part is like, my wife, Julie, is actually the lady in the mask that's in the tubes and everything, and she wasn't supposed to be. It was this other lady was going to do it, and she ended up being in a car accident. And my wife got through on the spot, like, well, we got 5 minutes to shoot this. Can you wear this outfit? And my wife's looking at me and looking at the outfit and going, I'm never going to fit in that. And she. We ended up getting her in a sale, and I had to help her get it on. We had to use a shoehorn because that was like some tight leather, and it was 100 degrees at that. So like, she was like totally unprepared. But I've got to give my wife credit. She knocked it out of the park. To not be expected to do the role and just to be thrown in it that quickly. She stepped up, and that's why she's my wife.
Right. Well, the video turned out great. I really enjoyed it. A very kind of a Frankenstein-esque kind of a video with it. So I thought that was very cool.
Thank you. And I feel the same way. It's the first video that we did that the band's playing. We've never shot a video where the band's actually playing. Oh. And then we had the story going around it, because we've done all these story videos where the band's really never in it. It's just like an idea in a film. You kind of like would tell a story. And this was the first time that we stepped out of that box and did it. And it turned out excellent. Yeah. It really did. It really did. So thank you so much for the compliment. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. And now just it would have been just last week you actually released another single, Light to Darkness. Can you talk a little bit about your inspirations for that one?
Light to Darkness. Tommy Church came down last summer during when everything was really under lockdown. He drove down here to Florida where we're at, and we locked ourselves. I think we locked ourselves in my personal studio for like a month. And Tommy was sitting there, and he was messing with these sound effects. And that very beginning of Light to Darkness, where you hear that, the whole thing was based off of that. And just like it had that creepy, like this kind of creepy vibe to it. And then he started, this guitar was really driving. And we just, you know, I can't honestly say I know where the lyrics come from, because there's one of them moments where it was, you know, the song was so cool, and it was kind of writing itself, you know. So when we came to lyrics and melodies, it just kind of just happened. It just like, I mean, this is cool. This is what it should be. And when you have a song like that, it's really kind of interesting because they write themselves. They tell you what they should do. I can't explain it. And I know you've heard other artists say the same thing, but like sometimes the song will just, you know, it just gets this vibe to it, and you just go with it.
All right, cool. Very cool. And, you know, I guess kind of going along with that, you know, when you have a song like that kind of writes itself, do you almost prefer that process, or do you not mind, you know, a song where, you know, you got to sit on it for a little while and think about exactly where you want it to go?
Well, that's the thing. I really love when they write themselves, because it's fun. Because sometimes I feel like when you do sit down on a song and you really try to plan it, that's when you overthink it. Okay. If that makes sense to you, you'll kind of shoot over the bar, you know, because you overthink things. And a big lesson that a lot of people learn, and I've learned over the years, is less is more. You know, like when you make space and it breathes. But sometimes it does work when you do that, but like I get afraid when you do have to put it down and think about it, because I'm like, am I overthinking this? Right. You know, it's like, and you get to that process, and that's scary about it. But then you have times where it works, because it's like, this is how I want it to be, and you know, I want it to follow this path. But then sometimes, you know, the song just has to be rewritten, because it's like, I'm overthinking this. You know, I need to walk away from this and write another song, and then come back to it and see if I even like it still.
Right. All right. Cool. Very cool. And if I read correctly, I believe that you guys have I believe it'd be your third album coming out. Is that correct?
Yes. And the way this is working is like, we're not releasing it like your typical album.
Okay.
Each song, like we had Remember and Light to Darkness just came out last week. Well, on April 30th, the third song will come out. Oh, and then on March 31st, May 31st, the next song will come out. It's going to come out every 30 days. Okay. A new song. And if you look at the cover, they're a puzzle piece. And you're going to put that puzzle piece together to get the full album cover.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to release that throughout the year. And then when that's done, we're just going to continue to release songs every month.
All right, that's cool. That's very cool. You know, I guess it didn't even, when I was looking at it before, it didn't even dawn on me that, you know, I was looking at a puzzle piece. And now that you say that, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, it's a new day and age with streaming and YouTube and Facebook and just this instant gratification, new content every day. As a musician, you need to be able to keep up with that. In the days of writing an album and then going and touring on that album for 2 years and then writing another one, it's over. You know, people are just like, they're turning the page faster than you can read it. Right. You know, so as of right now, we have a meeting tonight, and we're trying to knock out 6 new songs by the end of summer. Wow. To prepare for next year. And we're sitting on another 12 songs right now that we're releasing throughout the year, and I'm writing 6 more to get 6 months ahead.
How do you keep it all straight?
Well, you know, it's like music is universal, you know, and music is moments in time, and it captures those moments in time. And you take a little break from it, but then you have new life experiences and you have new ideas. And every song is a different story, and every song's a different moment in time. So, like, as long as you're living your life, you've got motivation, you've got stories, you have ideas. You just have to open your eyes and experience the world you're living in.
Okay. So is this new album then, I assume, kind of captures a lot of what happened within this past year or so, what with the pandemic and whatnot?
Yes, it does. Very much so. It's like everybody kind of like went into their own asylum in their own head during this. Yeah. And you can't deny that. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like we need each other as people. We do. It's proven now. We need each other. It's like it's not good. Why do you think the worst punishment you can give a prisoner is put him in solitary confinement?
Right. Yep.
That's the worst punishment you can do to somebody is put them by themselves. And it's not good. And I had my moments of stir crazy, but thank God I had my kids and my wife. My kids kept me on my toes with the Fortnite screaming. And definitely just I prayed. I got on my hands and knees and prayed for schools to open back up so I could get a moment of relief from that.
Yeah, I think you and a lot of parents were probably doing that.
Oh, I guarantee it. But, it's like, it's just one of them things where, it's like, we're all in this together, it's like, let's stay safe and let's get life back to normal.
Right. Well, and speaking of that, I noticed on your Facebook page that you guys, you have some tour dates scheduled. It must be pretty exciting to be touring again.
Oh, we miss each other so much, me and the guys, and it's just like, and the tickets are selling and doing well, and I do believe there's some states that have the full capacity, but a lot of the other states are going to be half, a quarter, or however, whatever the mandates are, because it does go state to state. We, on the other hand, will be very careful. It's like we did a couple shows last October with David Ellison and Saliva, and it's like we kept our distance. It's like we love people, but at the same time there was a lot of rubber gloves and masks involved. So because we don't want to be mean, and we all got tested when we came back, and nobody caught COVID, and was very, very thankful. When we did 8 days, honey, 8 or 9 days, and did 9 dates, and over 3 weeks, and it was we were very, very, very slow, but it was nice to get back with the band, because like we all live, like I live in Florida. Our bass player JP lives in Ohio. Our guitarist Tommy lives in North Carolina, and our drummer lives in PA. So there's no band practice. When we say we don't see each other, we don't see each other. We're writing stuff over Zoom and Pro Tools files. That's how we're working with each other, and we miss each other. I mean, we're a band. I mean, that's what we do together, and we do best. And so it's nice to get the group together again and actually, do some shows. And we're really looking forward to doing it again. But we have a good idea of how to stay safe on the road.
Good. That's good to hear. And, and I think it's good to hear, too, that the tickets are selling well, because I think, at least in my opinion, there's going to kind of be this, now that things are opening up again and people can gather, there's going to be just sort of this renaissance, if you will, of people going back out to concerts and live shows, and I can't wait to see that.
Oh, that's the thing. Over the summer, you're going to hear so many tours being announced for the fall, and we're part of that first wave, because like AKC, we're not a huge band, but we're a band that can draw a crowd, but it's not a huge crowd. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's good for us because we're getting the opportunity to actually get in first, because we can do these clubs and do the social distancing. Like, I'd hate to be in like, and I'm not dissing it, but like Five Finger Death Punch. There's no way they can do a show, and I feel bad for them. It's like, man, you know that if they love music like I do, which I know Ivan does, I've known Ivan for years, he's missing this. Right. He's missing this. And I feel bad for it. I'm kind of like, I'm glad to be a club band. I'm totally happy because like we're one of the first that actually get to go out and do it again. And I feel for a lot of my my peers that are unable to, because I mean there are bands that draw 30,000 people a show, and you can't do that, and that sucks for them.
Right, exactly. Well, I really appreciate you guys taking time to speak with me here this afternoon. If people want to learn more about you, the band, or learn more about that new music you got coming out, I assume they can do that in all the usual places, Facebook, all that good stuff?
Yeah, they can get up close and personal with me every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday on Twitch.
Okay.
You can find me on Twitch every week. I game with everybody, and I play new stuff and do hot challenges and just dumb stuff just for entertainment purposes. The entertainer in me is coming out, but I do that. It's live for 2 hours, and we play Call of Duty, and we play Mario. We pretty much play everything. Nice. And we have a great community, and we all just come together and talk every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday on Twitch. And you can find me there, Waylon AKC, and you can find us on Spotify. And do us a big favor and hit that follow button on that and YouTube, and you'll find us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok. God, how many social media sites are there?
Too many.
There is. There's way too many.
All right. Well, that's excellent. That sounds good. And, hopefully we'll be able to catch you on tour at some point. And if you happen to get up Central Wisconsin way, you are more than welcome to stop by the radio station. We'd be happy to have you in the studio.
Oh, we'd love to come in the studio. I like you guys. If we're there, just let us know. I'll bring the donuts.
All right, that sounds good. We love donuts at the radio station.
Everybody loves donuts.
Right, exactly.